sports fans, and welcome to Scott Sports 101 NFL Football Sunday, Week 9, and and we have a lot of action to go over, the early games and a lot of late game action, and the Browns are down 17-12 in the third quarter with, which I think probably now down to, I believe there's probably 10 minutes left to go in the third quarter, we'll go over all that, and I'll go over the early and late games, and I'll give my thoughts on what the Browns need to do. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. Which team originally drafted John Elway? I'll have the answer later on the podcast. Well, it's Week 9 of the 2019 NFL regular season, and the Cleveland Browns and the Denver Broncos are squaring off and are in the third quarter right now at Everett Power Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. And the Browns are coming off an unacceptable 27-13 loss to the New England Patriots last week. The Browns made too many mistakes, vital mistakes, in last week's game against the Patriots, and I felt that those mistakes really did the Browns in and costed them a game they could have and should have won. The Browns are in need of a win today, and I feel this is a must-win game for the Browns. It's like a playoff game, I feel, but it's a must-win for the Browns today. The Browns need to strike early against the Broncos. They are fourth in the league in NFL total yards allowed per game, 304.5, and fourth in the league against the pass rush, 194.8 yards allowed per game. Now, that cannot be avoided if the Browns can hit on Denver very quickly. And the Browns do have some injuries. Demarius Randall, Willie Wilkes, Pharaoh Brown, and several other guys are out for this game this week. But Kareem Hunt will be back next week with suspension, and we'll see if we get some of these guys back from injuries next week. Now, while the Broncos are still getting their feet under them, the Browns really need to put the big-time pressure on the Broncos offense, because their defense is really, really good, and they need to put the pressure on Broncos backup quarterback Brandon Allen, who is starting for the injured Joe Flacco today. Now, the big issue is the run defense, something new defensive coordinator Steve Wilkes was supposed to fix. The Browns ranked 29th versus the run, giving up 143 yards a game, and that's embarrassing. Denver plans to run the ball a lot. My guess is the Broncos will also throw a few screen passes, given the Browns have been fooled by one or two nearly every game, and they need to not be fooled by that today. This is a win the Browns need. Browns fans are frustrated by all the penalties, turnovers, and other mental mistakes. The team needs to find their identity and fix these mistakes very quickly. The Browns need to develop a really good passing game and running game if they need, and they need to stop the Broncos' running game by far. Now, if they can do all that, I feel the Browns can come away with the win and on the road in Denver. And they went to Denver Friday. They got out there Friday to get the feel of that stadium, and so I feel they're good. I'm going to say 26-20, Browns win. Now, meanwhile, the Broncos are coming off a 2-point 15-13 upset loss to the Indianapolis Colts last week. Broncos QB Joe Flacco, as I said, is out with a neck injury. So backup QB Brandon Allen will start for the injured in place of the injured Joe Flacco. And I feel that's who the Browns need to put pressure on besides the Broncos offense and defense. Which the offense is very weak, but the defense is really good, and they will establish a good running game and pass rush as well. The Broncos need to put pressure on Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield and the Browns offense and defense. And they need to put pressure on Nick Chubb, Odell Beckham Jr., and Jarvis Landry, which I feel the Browns need to get them the ball a lot more, especially Odell Beckham Jr. And so far this season, the Broncos have had chances to win several of their games, but have not been able to do so. And so far this season, I mean, they've won two of them, but they have not. They've had games where I felt that were Broncos fans felt that they should have won. I will go over all the early and late games in just a moment, but right now it is time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 NFL Football Sunday trivia question. What team originally drafted John Elway? And if you said the Baltimore Colts, you are correct. John Elway was originally drafted by the Baltimore Colts with the first overall pick of the 1983 NFL Draft. Unfortunately for the Colts, Elway threatened to give up football and pursue a professional baseball career, and if they didn't trade him to a select list of teams. Realizing that was no idle threat, Elway already spent 2 summers playing in the New York Yankees minor league system. The Colts traded him to the Denver Broncos for QB Mark Herman, offensive lineman Chris Hinton, and a first-round pick in the 1984 draft. Elway would go on to have a stellar career with the Denver Broncos, leading the team to 5 Super Bowls and back-to-back Super Bowl victories in 1997 and 1998. He ended his career with a blaze of glory and earning MVP honors in Super Bowl 33, and in 2004, his first year of eligibility, he was inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame. And I believe John Elway is the, president and CEO of the Broncos, I believe. I'll have to check and see. I don't know. So just check me if I'm wrong. And so we'll see. And I will have another trivia question on my next podcast. So stay tuned for that. Now, we're going to get to all the early and late games today that have been played today in the NFL. But first, we're going to start with the one that was done Thursday night. That was played on Thursday. And that was the San Francisco 49ers beating the Arizona Cardinals by 3, 28-25 at University of Phoenix Stadium in Phoenix, Arizona. And the Cardinals had chances, but they just could not capitalize on it. And they got within 3, but that's as close as they got. And Jimmy Garoppolo, Emmanuel Sanders, George Kittle, and Matt Breida all got the game balls. And so that was the one my brother and I both won on. And right now, I am 8-1 on my picks of the week this week, because we both won in San Francisco, my brother-in-law and I'm 7-1 on my picks. Excuse me. We both won in San Francisco and Arizona. I've taken Houston, Buffalo, Carolina, Philadelphia, KC, the Jets, Pittsburgh, Oakland, Seattle, Cleveland, and Green Bay. My brother-in-law, Eric Hoyle, he won with the 49ers. He's taking the Texans. He took the Vikings, and I took the Chiefs. He took the Jets. And we both lost on that one. He took the Colts. I took the Steelers. So I won. He lost. We both took the Bills, Panthers, Seahawks. He took the Lions. I took Oakland. He took the Chargers. I took Green Bay. And the Browns. I took the Browns. We both took the Patriots and the Cowboys. So we have 4 picks that we do not agree on. So now let's get to the early games. The Houston Texans beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 28-3 in Wembley Stadium in London, England. And this was that game took place this morning in London, England, on NFL Network at 9:30 a.m. And I had to give the game ball to Deshaun Watson by far. He gets today's game ball, and Damon Williams, he gets it too. The Philadelphia Eagles beat the Chicago Bears at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 22-14. The Bears just they struggled today, offensively and defensively, and they got within 8 points, and that was as close as they got. But I got to give the game balls to Carson Wentz, Zach Ertz, and Jordan Howard. You guys get the game balls today. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the Minnesota Vikings 26-23 at Arrowhead Stadium in KC, Kansas City, and Minnesota. Chiefs won, I think, by a field goal. I think this came down to the final seconds, and I have to give it to Matt Moore, the game ball, and I have to give it to Tyreek Hill and Trevon Simmons, I have to give it to him as well. Or Trevon Simmons, excuse me. The Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Indianapolis Colts at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 26-24. And the Colts got within two. I mean, it was close, but Steelers pulled away at the end. And I have to give the game ball to Mason Rudolph. I have to give it to him. And I have to give it to Mason Rudolph and one of their defensive players. I can't remember, but I'll let you know. The Miami Dolphins get their first win of the season at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. They beat the Jets 26-18 in Miami at Hard Rock Stadium. The Dolphins did, and the Jets, they got as close as the Jets just struggled today, offensively and defensively, but I have to give the game ball to Ryan Fitzpatrick and also and two of their other defensive players as well. And so they go to 1-7, and the Jets fall to 1-7. The Carolina Panthers beat the Tennessee Titans at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina, 30-20. And I have to give the game balls to Kyle Allen and Christian McCaffrey. I have to give it to them. And I mean, the Titans, they played a good game, but the Panthers, they just pulled away. They had the Titans number today. The Buffalo Bills were all over the Washington Redskins, 24-9 at Ralph Wilson Stadium in Buffalo, and the Redskins fall to 1-8 on the season. Now, and I have to give the game ball to Josh Allen and John Brown, and there's one other guy I have to give it to, one of the defensive guys, I can't remember who. But that's all the early games. The Lions are scoring off the Raiders at Oakland Company Coliseum. They're tied at 17. The Buccaneers and Seahawks are at CenturyLink Field in Seattle, squaring off. And I believe the Buccaneers are beating the Seahawks by, 3. The Chargers and Packers are squaring off at StubHub Center in L.A., California, and they're up 19-0 on Green Bay, and that's a surprise. The Browns and Broncos are at Empire Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. And it was 17-12 last. I think it might have gone up. I don't know. I'm hoping the Browns are winning. And the New England Patriots and the Baltimore Ravens will square off tonight at M&T Bank Stadium and on Sunday Night Football. And the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants will square off at MetLife Stadium in New York on Monday Night Football tomorrow night. And I really feel that this game is a must-win game, and I really feel the Browns are going to win today, because I really feel they're sick of losing, and they want to win this game by far today. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 early games, post-game show, and late games, pre-game / third quarter show. I'll be back with the Scott Sports 101 late game, post game show, and Sunday Night Football pregame show once all the late games, including the Browns-Broncos game, have concluded. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day, in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.